Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Yana. This is The Scented. And in today's video, I'm talking about my favorite niche fragrances for women. I started my fragrance journey quite a while ago, like several years ago, and I'd always been intrigued by niche perfumery and indie perfumery, but I didn't like the weird stuff. Like, I've tried hundreds, and I'm saying like actually hundreds of niche fragrances whenever I get a chance to go to any of those boutiques that like are specifically niche perfumery. I have at her. Like, I smell everything. And there's really a select few fragrances that really stand out to me, that are wearable, that are practical, that are like everyday, not necessarily everyday, but that are like ones that are not just works of art, but ones that I can actually wear and enjoy and appreciate. So today's are women's niche perfumery favorites. Like, I understand that they're all technically unisex, they're all marketed unisex. So I'm just talking about the ones that I personally like to wear for myself as a woman, and I'll do a separate list of my favorite niche fragrances for men. So obviously, again, all unisex, blah, blah, blah. We know. There's no gender in perfumery, all of that. Everybody can wear whatever they want, sure. But some fragrances I like on women, some fragrances I like on men. So I'll do my men's preferred list separately. And let's get into it. So I'm going to start with wood sage and sea salt. Debatable, yes. Jo Malone, is it niche perfumery? Who knows? It's kind of mainstream niche at this point, but this was the one that started it all for me. This was the one that kind of got my foot in the door about niche perfumery and made me want to explore more, because this one was love at first sniff for me. It has this beautiful sweetness and light woodiness. It's very airy. It's a different kind of freshy. It's a little bit herbaceous. It's still, to this day, one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Like, I went ahead and got myself a big bottle. I was just fighting it for the longest time because this fragrance is notorious for its poor performance. Like, this really only lasts a couple hours, especially if you're not putting it on moisturized skin. It doesn't last very long. So I had fragrance oils, and that's what I had been enjoying for years. And I finally pulled the trigger and I got myself a wood sage and sea salt. So yeah, this one, I just spray it everywhere, spray all day. And I will say, I have a hookup for Jo Malone, so I would never pay full retail for this. Like, just to be 100% straight honest, no, I would not pay at the boutique retail price for this. I got this for 125 bucks, and for that, I'm very, very happy. That's that, but the scent itself is so beautiful. It's like this intoxicating, light, airy, woody, salty, sweet fragrance. So that is one of my all-time favorites. Then another one that's already very quite popular is Byredo's Bal d'Afrique. This is a fragrance that makes me happy. I've talked about this so many times. This is like a sweet vetiver fragrance with African marigold. There's orange flower in here. It smells lotiony. It smells like almost like a sweet lotiony fragrance. It puts a smile on my face every time I smell it. This is a fragrance that when I'm feeling down, I smell this and it lifts my mood. And this is like the perfect signature scent-worthy fragrance. It's good for all seasons. It's just a stunner. Like, I can wear it in the summer, I can wear it in the winter just as easily, and I did pay full retail for this. This one as well is known not to have the best performance, but I cannot find a great dupe for it. And anyway, I appreciate the craft of this perfume, so whatever. I paid full pop for this, and I'm okay with that. But I did pay full pop at a European website, which when you convert it to Canadian dollars, which is where I am, is actually cheaper. So I only paid $300 for it, if I can say only about that. Anyways, so those are the two that are kind of like mainstream niche, and as I go through this list, we're gonna get to some that are kind of like hidden gems. So just stick with me, because I'll get to some that you guys have probably never heard of. Again, another popular one, Oud Satin Mood, and you guys have heard me rave about this time and time again. This is a sexy oud rose vanilla. It has this powderiness about it. It's sweet, a little bit sweet, but not like in your face, almost sugary sweet. This is almost like light, airy, powdery. rich, but it's ethereal. Like, it's kind of an oxymoron in that sense. And this smells extremely lavish. Like, this is like you've gone full out. Like, this is 007. I always describe this as a 007 fragrance. You're one of those lavish, extravagant, beautiful women that are always in those supporting roles in 007 at one of those fancy galas, fancy events. This is it. This is my favorite fragrance for going out, but it has to be an evening out. It has to be at the very least, a fancy dinner out. I can't wear this on an everyday basis, but it is one of my favorite like scents just to smell. Sometimes I open it and I just smell it right out of the cap. It's a stunner. Maison Francis Kurkdjian is one of my absolute favorite fragrance houses. I like almost every single creation that I've smelt from this house. They are all beautiful, and that one performs like crazy. So not like the first two that I mentioned. The Oud Satin Mood actually will never come off your skin until you shower. So the bang for the buck is definitely there. Then we have Maison Margiela Replica. This one is totally unisex, totally unisex. In fact, I really love when my man wears this one. I think it's super sexy, but I like to wear it myself, so I put it in this list, but it's actually fully unisex. It's a little bit sweet. It's coffee-esque. It has a milkiness to it. It has lavender. It's such a beautiful, refreshing coffee fragrance. It's not a sweet coffee fragrance. It's a very refreshing, uplifting coffee fragrance. I have my fan going and it's like making it go everywhere. This really smells like a lavender-infused coffee, like fresh ground coffee. Milky, very milky, almost like a cappuccino. Such a beautiful scent. Like, it smells fresh and it smells like milky coffee. So yeah, it's a real stunner. Like, you really have to smell this if you haven't, and it's readily available at Sephora. So again, I'm not sure if it qualifies as niche. I'm calling it niche, but it is quite mainstream. Another coffee fragrance is Kilian's Intoxicated. I don't like a very sweet coffee fragrance, and this is not sweet at all. This is spicy coffee. This is like black coffee with spices, with cardamom, with cinnamon, nutmeg. This one is quite bold. It's very sexy. It doesn't have any sweetness to it, but it is really actually intoxicating. Like, I want to keep smelling this. It smells a little bit actually like Mugler's Amen, but that one has a dirty patchouli that I can't stand, and it makes me not like the fragrance. It has like a harshness to it. This one doesn't have a harshness. It just has this beautiful warmth, the spiciness, and coffee. And it is just a perfect fragrance to warm you up on a cooler fall day, winter. Like, this is my favorite fragrance to reach for in the fall and winter. I love it. I think it's such a good fragrance. Performance is okay on this. It's like, it smells like it would perform better than it does. I only get about 5-6 hours out of this fragrance, but it smells quite strong when you spray it. It smells like it would pack a punch, but it stays quite close to the skin. This one doesn't project too much, so I do have to spray a lot of it. So that is the only downfall, and Kilian is very expensive, but this is my favorite fragrance from Kilian. It's my favorite one. I'm not a huge fan of the sweet creations from that house, but Intoxicated is a 10 out of 10 for me. And it's very unisex as well. Men can easily wear it, but I love wearing it myself. I think it's actually like very easy for women to wear. So don't be afraid of Intoxicated. If you're a woman, just try it. It's very sexy. Then we have two from the house of M. Micallef. I'm like almost embarrassed to talk about Ylang & Gold at this point, because guys, I've raved about this so many times. It is a delectable fragrance. It has a sweet, creamy ylang. It has almost a banana-esque sweetness. You've heard me talk about this. You've heard me talk about this a million times. This is delicious. This one, I love it in the summer. I can't stop smelling it. I can't stop spraying it. It's such a stunner. Such a beautiful fragrance. Performance is not bad. I get about 5 hours, but I have to spray a lot. I have to spray it on clothing. The other one I love from them is Gaiac. This is almost like a smoky, woody fragrance. This one I love for the cold weather. So Ylang & Gold is my favorite from them for the summer, even though I actually do wear it all year round. But Gaiac, oh my god, this is the most beautiful, rich, warm, woody scent. It reminds me of a fragrance, like a beloved fragrance of mine that is discontinued from Fendi. It's called Fendi Theorema. I still have a bottle of it, but anyway, this gives me that warmth, this like rich woodiness. It's a little bit spicy. Like, it has clove. You can definitely smell that clove. It's almost smoky, but not. Like that wood, the Gaiac wood, it almost smells like a little bit sweet and smoky. But it's not smoky like incense. It's almost like if you like by the fireplace, oh my god. Like you don't know amazing smoked vanilla until you've tried this. Like by the fireplace, I don't like it at all. It smells like I've been standing by a campfire. This is a sophisticated, sexy, warm, vanilla, woody, rich scent. Like this is miles beyond. So yeah, this one I absolutely love. This is another 10 out of 10 for sure. Like there's some beautiful fragrances from the House of Micallef. I have these two as full bottles. I have some 30 mils, and then I have Eden Falls, which is also lovely. But anyway, if you guys want to see a full Micallef video and I'll talk about some of the samples that I have, let me know. Leave me a comment down below and I can potentially do that soon. Anyway, next is 100 Silent Ways from Nishani or Nishane. I'm not quite sure. This is almost marshmallowy. This has a sweetness. The packaging suggests Baccarat Rouge vibes, but it's not. It's not anything close to Baccarat Rouge. It's powdery and it's vanillic, like it has orris root, so you get that nice powdery, almost like musky scent. But then there's tuberose, there's peach in here. It has a sweetness and like a light airiness about it, almost cotton candy-esque. It's beautiful. It is such a lovely scent. Out of the cap, I do get a little bit of a sharpness, but when I spray it on paper and when I spray it on my skin, it goes away. Like there's no sharpness. It's just this almost like fluffy, light, peachy, cotton candy-like smell with a nice powdery vanilla. Like really, really beautiful. Also quite expensive, but it does perform all day. Like I get a good 8, even sometimes 10 hours out of this. It's beautiful and it's good for all seasons as well. And then along the same vein, like if you like 100 Silent Ways, Roja Parfums 51. This one's more summery. It also has a very light, airy quality, like 100 Silent Ways. I don't know why I put this on my finger just now. But it's more floral and it's more regal. Like this one smells like a expensive woman. Like I feel like a queen when I wear this. When I spoke about it before, I said like this fragrance makes me feel like I'm on top of the world. Like I'm a queen. Like there's a soft spiciness about it, but there's also this very light airiness. There is like a bajillion notes in this fragrance. But I do get a very like light, sweet and tart raspberry, tuberose, vanilla. It's lovely. There's a little bit of a woody base afterwards, and this one does last all day as well. This is such a beautiful creation, and yeah, so that's one of my favorites as well. Then we have Fleur de Bamboo from Il Profumo. I've talked about this one a million times as well. This one also makes me so happy. This one I purchased from Raffinad Perfumery, as well as one other one on this list. These ones are a little bit like obviously less mainstream niche and sometimes can be hard to find. This is also available at Saks. That was the first time that I ever saw it. And this one like really caught my nose's attention. When I smelled it at Saks, I was like, oh my god. Like I smelled the whole Il Profumo line, and then this one was the one that I was like, oh, I couldn't stop smelling it. Like it also has a little bit of like a reminiscent of a banana smell, but it's more green, and it has lotus, it has bamboo. It's like a almost aquatic, but a little bit sweet. I did a full review on it, so I'm just going to link it up at the top for you. I'm not going to get too into it now. Again, I've raved about this so many times. But yeah, this is probably my favorite niche freshie. This and Wood Sage and Sea Salt are my favorite niche freshies. And they're really different kind of freshies. Like, they're not your typical aquatic. They really do offer something completely unique and different. And then another one that I also got from Raffinad Perfumery is Stairway to Heaven from Jules et Mad. Jules et Mad has some beautiful creations as well, but this is my favorite from that house. This reminds me a little bit of Tom Ford's Métallique. Like it has this like fuzziness. It has aldehydes, and it does give you the impression of like clean, crisp mountain air. It smells cold. Like it smells cold, but in a comforting, fuzzy way. The type of aldehydes that you find in here are very, very similar to what's in Tom Ford's Métallique, but this also has heliotrope. It has a lot of powderiness. It has vanilla, and it has a very interesting note of gunpowder. It almost smells metallic. Very, very interesting. and a nice clean musk. So yeah, this one I love as well. And it's interesting the way that it smells. Like you would think, oh, maybe it's not for cool weather. Maybe it's too like it'll make you feel too cold in cool weather. But it actually doesn't. Like this fragrance is perfect for the cooler weather. I can't wait until the weather gets a little bit more crisp, and I'm going to be reaching for this so much. And then lastly is Fragrancebuy Blondine. I love the scent. The performance is lacking, so that is why I'm mentioning it last, but it is such a stunner. This one to me, like I've described it before in the silliest way. This literally smells like you've taken butter and you've melted butter and then you poured it on your brand new Uggs. And then there's a sweet lily there as well, but it's a mouth-watering like melted butter smell with suede and like a sweet creamy lily. Oh my god, what a stunning fragrance. I can even wear this one sometimes in the summer, like not on the most humid day, but on a cooler summer day I can even wear this. I love how this smells, but again, the performance is not the strongest. I have to be honest with you guys, the performance is not the strongest, so you have to spray it a lot, and it does stay a little bit closer to the skin. But the scent, for me personally, I'm obsessed with this scent. It is such a stunning fragrance. I talked about it in my gourmands for the gourmand hater. It does smell like a gourmand, like it smells almost food-like, but in a very different way. It's very, very unique. So those are my favorite niche fragrances, even though all unisex. These are my favorite ones for women that I like to wear myself personally. So I hope you guys check some of these out. They are really incredible, outstanding fragrances, and they are like nothing you've smelled before. Like niche fragrances are really different from designer. Like the smell, the actual smell that you get is very different. You will go down a rabbit hole. You will want to discover more. You will like be obsessed with this like uniqueness that they offer, and that's what happened to me. So, but it's fun. It's a fun adventure. We all get to discover cool new stuff. Comment down below and let me know your favorite niche fragrances, and I'll definitely check them out. I always love discovering new things, so I know you guys have put me onto some amazing recommendations, and I'm really thankful. So leave that comment, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe. If you've watched this video till the end, you've made it, please hit that sub button. It'll mean the world to me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.